Hi, Greg. I just saw your tweet about Ingrid and the concern for heavy rain, and you talked about it going to be bullied by high pressure. Talk about what that means and how it's going to mean flooding.
Yeah, well, that's kind of the evolution of the large-scale pattern around the Gulf of Mexico. We're going to see a big ridge of high pressure develop over the southern U.S. late this weekend, and that is going to drive Ingrid westward into Mexico. That's pretty much the consensus thinking right now. And if you look at the advisory right now, this is the latest advisory we have now from the Hurricane Center. It is now up to a 70-mile-per-hour tropical storm. That is near hurricane strength. Remember, only 4 more miles per hour, and we have a hurricane, so it's real close. And notice that the movement has changed. Now we're north. Remember, a few hours ago, it was kind of northeast. Now it's back to the north, and I think that's a sign that that high-pressure system is moving in, and that north movement is eventually going to become northwest and then west. I'll show you that in a second. Here's the cone from the Hurricane Center. Look, they have it moving northward this afternoon. Increase it to an 80-mile-per-hour hurricane tomorrow morning. And then look at the rapid westward turn by Monday morning, moving westward, getting close to the Mexican coast. Probably the center a couple of 100 miles south of the Rio Grande here. Making landfall likely as a Category 1, 80-mile-per-hour or so hurricane, but bringing a lot of rain. And you can see why it would bring a lot of rain. If you look at the enhanced satellite view, look at those tremendous thunderstorms there, those reds, those bright colors there. Those are very tall thunderstorms, way over 50,000 feet, tremendous rain producers. And now that Ingrid has moved a little bit to the east this morning, it's kind of moved away from the land. Notice it's got a little bit more room out here over the open water. And it can strengthen, I think, even a little bit more before the steering pattern takes it inland. Let's have a look at the water vapor imagery. This is the steering mechanisms that are going to be unfolding today, and this is what you were alluding to right now, Jen. We have an upper-level low over Mexico, and what that is doing is providing some steering now that is primarily out of the south, so it's pushing Ingrid north right now. But watch what happens as we move from the stage we have now, the steering flow, to tomorrow and later on Sunday. This upper-level low will back out of the way, get pushed aside by this monster ridge that's going to envelop the southern part of the United States, and the flow around that, the clockwise flow around that, is going to drive Ingrid westward. So it's really got not much room, I think, to move northward. And here's the cone, just to let you know that even though we expect the center to make landfall here, we are going to have impacts in Texas, including coastal flood advisories and coastal flood warnings that are in effect now, thanks to the very large sort of circulation around it. Sort of the periphery of Ingrid is reaching all the way up into Texas right now, and will also provide some threat for rip currents as well. Right now on radar, we don't see a lot of shower and thunderstorm activity moving across the area, but this is the rainfall forecast. This is the important part. We think a couple of inches of rain getting into southern Texas, but way more than a foot possible where this makes landfall near Tampico, Mexico, flooding a big problem.